guys, so today I am going to show you how to make this cute little card holder. It's great. It can hold business cards, it can hold your credit card and your ID if you're going out. You can make it into any kind of fabric that you want. This just happens to be fleece, and right now it's holding some of my business cards, but this is actually going to my husband because he's a huge Green Bay Packer fan. Woohoo! So I'm going to show you how to make this right now. Okay, for this project you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric cut into 5.5 by 4.5 pieces. You need 1 piece of fusible fleece cut in 5.5 to 4.5. You need 2 pieces of fabric that's cut into 2.5 by 4.5. You will need a hair tie and a button. Any loose button will do. And then of course scissors and pins. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to fuse the fusible fleece onto one of the pieces of my 5.5 by 4.5 fabric. Okay, to fuse the fabric to your fleece, what you're going to do is you're going to put it soft side down, and if you can see, it's got all of these little bumpies of glue on there. That side's going to go up, and place your fabric directly over the top of it. Place your fabric directly on top of it, and then with a dry hot iron on the wool setting, you're going to press and sweep. Okay, there you go, it's all fused together. Okay, so now you have your piece of fabric that is fused to the fleece, and we're going to work on the 2 pieces that we ironed a hem down, and we are actually going to put a straight stitch in there to keep this nice and clean. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to start with a couple back stitches, and then I'm going to just straight stitch down the line, and I'm going to do some back stitches at the end. So just a straight stitch, and then I will do the other one, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to take our 5.5 inch by 4.5 inch piece, and we are going to place these on here. You can add a couple pins if you'd like to make sure it stays in place while you're sewing. I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. You're putting it so the hem is towards the center. That'll be where you're going to put your cards. Okay, and then all I'm going to do here is straight stitch around those 3 edges, leaving this side open, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Now that I have both pockets sewn onto my piece of fabric, I'm going to take my fusible fleece fabric and I'm going to put it over top. I'm going to make sure everything lines up, and then I'm going to pin it in place everywhere to make sure nothing shifts while I sew around it. So now that I have it all pinned up, the last thing you want to do before you start sewing is insert your hair tie. You're going to find the center of your short side, and as much as you put into the center is what's going to hang out the other side. So determine how much you want. You don't want it to be too loose or it's not going to hold on to the button. And if your hair tie has a little spot like this where it's kind of joined together and they melted it together a bit, don't put that into the fabric because it's an ugly spot, so leave it on the outside. Now, I did a trial of this and I did not pin down my elastic, and my elastic ended up way off center. So I'm going to recommend pinning down your elastic as best you can to try to keep it in the right spot when you're sewing. So I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to leave an opening so I can turn it out, and I'm just going to straight stitch all the way around. I want to make sure you back stitch quite a few times here because turning it out is really difficult because of how thick all these layers are. So give yourself a really good reinforcement. And I'm going to go over the elastic part a few times as well. So this is what you have, and I'm going to turn it out. Okay, so I flipped it right side out, and I gave it a good press with the iron, and now I am going to sew over to close up this hole, and then I'm just going to top stitch all the way around to keep everything together nice and tight. Okay, and now you're going to fold it in half and you're going to decide your button placement. I think it would look nice right there. So I'm kind of going to put it right here in this little cross hatch right there. And then I'm going to sew it by hand, making sure I don't close up this pocket. So now with the button in place, you can put some business cards in little pouches. And close it up. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!
Go Packers!